Module 14, Ongoing Practice and Goal Setting. Welcome to the 14th module of this course. This module will help you to continue practicing and improving the skills you and your child have learned. In this module, you will learn about the progress that you and your child have made, how to set new goals for your child's communication, and how to expand your routines by adding new steps and linking routines together. Lesson 1. Home Practice Review. Let's review your home practice from Module 13. You were asked to choose 2 everyday activities to do with your child. Spend 5 minutes with your child every time you do the activities together. Look and listen for what happens before, during, and after the challenging behavior, and to use the plan you made to respond to the challenging behavior. Home practice. What you learned. Answer the following questions about your practice in your journal. Which home activities did you try? Which challenging behaviors occurred? What was the reason or reasons for the behavior? How did you respond? What things can you try next time? Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Lesson 2. Your child's progress. Over the duration of the course, you have been asked to do a lot of extra work to help your child. Congratulations for working so hard. It is important that we recognize how much progress you have made. Remember that it's okay if you haven't met your goals. You are trying hard. There are some things that have been going well. Think about the activities you have chosen to work on and the goals you set for improving your child's communication, behavior, and the small step of a larger skill. Answer the following questions in your journal. What progress have you made towards these goals? Have you noticed any other positive changes in your child? What did you do to achieve this progress? What difficulties did you have as you worked towards your goals? How will you continue to practice with your child? Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Lesson 3. Setting new goals for your child. Key Message 1. Continue to set goals for yourself and your child and review your progress. Setting new goals for communication to request and share. Next, we will review a chart that can help you decide on your next goals for improving your child's communication to request and share. To use the chart, 1. Find the description of how your child is communicating to request and to share now. 2. Write down in your journal the step that follows where your child is now. These will be your child's next communication goals. For example, if your child is not yet requesting, her or his next communication goal is to use eye contact to request. Planning your child's next communication goals. For requesting, if a child is not yet requesting, their goal is to use eye contact to request. For a child who uses eye contact to request, their goal is to use gestures. For example, reach to request, give to request, or point to request. For a child who uses gestures, their goal is to use a single word to request. For a child who uses a single word to request, their goal is to use 2 words together to request. For a child who uses 2 words together to request, their goal is to use 3 or more words together to request. And for a child who uses 3 or more words together to request, Their goal is to combine many words, gestures, and eye contact to request. Similarly, for sharing, if a child is not yet sharing, their goal is to use eye contact to share. For a child who uses eye contact to share, their goal is to use gestures. For example, show to share, point to share, or give to share. For a child who uses gestures, their goal is to use a single word to share, and so on. Write down in your journal the next step that follows where your child is now. These will be your child's next communication goals. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Tips for continuing and expanding goals and routines. Notice which strategies are working well for you and your child, and plan to keep practicing. Remind yourself, what is the next step once we master this skill? Is it the next target communication skill? The next small step in the routine? The next challenging behavior target? Or the next target routine? Lesson 4. Expanding routines using show and say. You have been working on target routines for many weeks. Now you will learn how to keep this work going by expanding options in routines and keeping your child engaged. Tip 1. Expand your routine. Use show and say to add new steps. Notice when your routine needs a new step in order to continue. Show and say to demonstrate the step and describe it. For example, when playing with blocks, you can show your child how to build with the same blocks in a different way, and you can say, that is, describe what you are doing at the child's level. We built the castle. You can also show your child how to build a farm or zoo out of blocks and put animals inside. And you can say, by describing at the child's level what you are doing with the toys. For example, goat in. When helping your child get dressed, you can show your child how to pull the zipper up, and you can say, by describing at the child's level what you are doing, pull up. Don't forget to praise your child for trying. For example, pull up. You did it. Ideas for expanding common routines by adding new steps or materials. When playing, add new play materials or add another step to your play routine. For example, if the routine is to take cups out of a container and stack them, add the step of putting the cups back in the container. When sharing a book, use different books or more advanced books. Read more words, add a song, or add objects or toys. For example, add toy animals when reading a farm book. When getting dressed, dress in a different order. For example, if pants are always first, try socks first. Make dressing part of a longer morning routine. For example, expand the routine to include choosing clothes, packing a bag, and putting on shoes. At snack or mealtime, use different utensils, containers, or foods. Add washing hands or setting the table. At bath time, add water play, dressing, or brushing teeth to the routine. Remember to use show and say to add new steps to your routines. The best time to add new steps is when your child is calm, cool, and ready to learn. Linking routines together. Tip 2. Link two routines together to expand a routine that the child can do. When your child can do a home routine on her or his own, you can link two routines together. For example, if your child can wash her or his hands on their own, the next small step could be to sit at the table for snack time, to link washing hands and snack routines. If your child can brush her or his teeth on their own, the next small step could be to put on pants to link brushing teeth and getting dressed routines. As adults, we all do many routines each day. You can help your child learn to be more independent when they can do 2 or more routines on their own. Writing practice. Expanding your routines. Which 2 routines that you already do with your child could you expand on? Write your answer in your journal. Sometimes your child won't follow new steps or link one routine to another. That's okay. It's important to keep trying. You may have to try different strategies learned during this course to expand the routine. You may also find success in using the same strategy many times before your child eventually tries it. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Home Practice Plan. It's time to prepare for your next home practice activity. Think about how you will use show and say to teach your child new steps, and remember to take notes in your journal. Building children's skills. For each of the home routines you chose to expand on, decide on the next 2 or 3 small steps. Plan to start teaching your child at least one of those steps within the next few days. Routine 1. The next 2 or 3 steps I can teach my child are. Routine 2. The next 2 or 3 steps I can teach my child are. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Module 14 Summary. What you learned. Continue to set goals for yourself and your child and review your progress. Expand your routine. Use show and say to add new steps. And link 2 routines together to expand a routine that the child can do. Thank you for completing this module. Please answer the module quiz and complete the feedback survey. After 4 or 5 days of practice with your child, you will be ready to go on to the next module. Remember to practice self-care as well. You can continue with the self-care activities you are already doing, or try something new before you start the next module. See you then!